In the wake of the Supreme Court leak, many California politicians have weighed in on the potential ruling. While Democratic politicians are pushing for more abortion laws, one Republican described their actions as insane. California politicians have made their stances known on the controversial May 2nd Roe v. Wade leak. Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted that he intends to fight against the potential ruling. The governor, along with Democratic State Leader Tony G. Atkins and Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon, issued a joint statement in response to the leaked draft opinion and vowed to write pro-abortion laws into the state constitution. Democratic lawmakers have introduced a slate of pro-abortion bills in recent months. One of the bills, Senate Bill 1142, would set up a state-controlled fund to pay for abortions for women with low incomes, including out-of-state residents. Republican Senator Melissa Melendez told the Epoch Times on Tuesday that Democrats' push to pay for abortions for out-of-state residents is insane. She also contends that amending the state constitution would be pointless and idiotic. Melendez added, the Democratic Party's plan to use Roe v. Wade to portray themselves as champions of women's rights in an election year might not work as well as they've planned. It's a political thing, of course. It's a wedge issue, and they're certainly going to try to seize upon that, but I don't see how that's going to help them. The Supreme Court has not given a vote on the matter and is investigating the leak. During a mayoral debate event at CSU Los Angeles, police escorted a woman from the forum. She is a Black Lives Matter co-founder, as well as a professor.
A Black Lives Matter chapter co-founder and Los Angeles professor, Melina Abdullah, was physically removed by campus police from a Los Angeles mayoral debate on Sunday, May 1st. Abdullah reportedly entered the CSU Los Angeles venue without a ticket. She declined requests from officers to leave. The event was co-hosted by Pat Brown Institute and the Los Angeles League of Women Voters at California State University, LA.
You're hurting your hands off. You're hurting me. Get your hands off of her. This is a public university.
Other videos show police escorting her and being met outside with protesters from a progressive activist group known as the People's City Council, demanding Abdullah be let go and attempting to block the officers. The group said there was no disruption and 4 cops picked up Melina and pulled her out. All of this for a mayoral debate. On the same night, Abdullah stated, "Today I attempted to watch the mayoral debate held on the campus where I've taught for 20 years. As I waited for it to start, the white PBI director called the police on me." CSU LA issued a statement saying the event was not a public forum and had strict check-ins for media and limited guests. The organizers intended to focus on the live broadcast.
A former U.S. Transportation Secretary has passed away. He was known to be a pioneer for Asian Americans serving in high-profile government posts.
TSA must focus on continuous security improvement across all transportation modes.
Norma Mineta was a San Jose native, mayor, congressman, former U.S. Secretary of Commerce, and U.S. Secretary of Transportation. He was 90 when he passed away. Mineta's former chief of staff, John Flaherty, said Mineta died peacefully on Tuesday at his home surrounded by family in Edgewater, Maryland. Flaherty said he died due to a heart ailment and that he was an extraordinary public servant and a very dear friend. Mineta is the son of Japanese immigrants who spent 2 years of his childhood at a World War II internment camp. Mineta began his political career leading his hometown of San Jose before joining the Clinton administration as Commerce Secretary and then crossing party lines to serve in Bush's cabinet. Mineta broke racial barriers for Asian Americans in becoming mayor of San Jose, California. He was also the first Asian American to become a federal cabinet secretary, serving under both President Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. As Bush's transportation secretary, Mineta ordered commercial flights to stay grounded after the 9/11 terror attacks. It was the first such order given in the history of U.S. aviation. It was Mineta who was subsequently charged with restoring confidence in air travel in the aftermath of the terror attacks.
Our one team is focusing on ways to increase security at our nation's airports. The other is focusing on aircraft integrity and security with specific attention to cockpit access and an expanded federal air marshal program. Both teams are meeting regularly and with urgency and their reports are due on October 1 at the latest.
Bush awarded him the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In 2001, the San Jose airport was renamed after him. In 2006, he resigned at age 74 after 5.5 years in his post, making him the longest-serving transportation secretary.
Californians are feeling inflation everywhere, from gas to food. One Southern California farmer talked about how inflation is straining his prices and potentially the future of his farm.
Inflation is hitting the country hard, including California's poultry farms. Frank Hilliker, a fourth-generation egg farmer, said inflating prices are putting him at risk of losing labor.
My feed is up over 100%, so I'm paying over double for what I was paying for a couple of years ago. Fuel's up 40%, packaging is up, depending on the packaging, 25%, labor 10 to 15%. So the way we deal with it is we're tied to the market and the eggs that we sell. So first of all, we hope that the market is going to be high enough to cover those costs. If not, we cut labor.
Hilliker runs his egg farm in Lakeside of San Diego County, where he houses around 25,000 chickens. He said inflation has also hit his sales.
Egg consumption has slowed down. Some of our biggest stores that would take 2-3 pallets of eggs a week, you figure there's 900 dozen on a pallet, are down to like just taking 1 pallet a week because they've gotten so high.
Inflation is endangering his farm so much that he is more worried about it than diseases like bird flu. Even though bird flu could potentially wipe out his entire flock, he says inflation is still the main concern.
Bird flu and the health of the birds don't keep me up at night because I know we do a good job. And if the bird flu happens, there's really not much you can do. It is what it is. You just got to accept it and move on. But what keeps me up at night is the inflation, or all my costs, all my raising costs.
Hilliker is doing his best to keep business as usual, with his farm producing 20,000 eggs on average per day.